on this computer. Hello, friends. So we got a special guest here today. Steph and I are just going to quickly do a training because we really felt like this was something that we needed to do, and we wanted to do it live in a group, and it didn't work, so we are just doing a recording. But we want to talk about a couple things. So giving up before you start and fear. So those are kind of like the leading conversations that a lot of people have with network marketing. So just a super quick story. I've been in this industry or my story, I should say, quick story, my story. I've been in this industry for 8 years. This is my second company ever. So that's a big deal to me, is like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for a long time, apparently. So the biggest thing with this business is that I have seen over the last 8 years, and I've been thinking a lot about this lately, is that people quit before their time. They quit before they know what could have happened. And I see it all the time. I saw it with my last company. I see it with my new company. It doesn't matter what company, you're going to see it. And the biggest reason I think is like a lot of people, if they just gone that little extra mile, that little bit further, who knows what could have happened, right? So there's so many points where I could have quit in my industry. I could have quit and thrown in the towel. I've had slow months. I've had slow months here. And I feel like when I came into this industry, I joined by accident. So it was like I actually went on to buy a product. I ended up buying this whole bundle of products. And I was like, oh, I got a sale. Had no idea I even joined network marketing. I was like, what? Like, I got a sale. I'm like, I called my sponsor on the phone. I was like, hey, can I put your name down for this? It's asking for a name. I don't know why. That's literally how I joined network marketing, you guys. So I didn't come in like, I'm going to just boost my business and do all these things. I had no idea I was in a business. I got added to a group and I was like, what is this group? And then I started looking through it and I was like, oh, I'm in a business now. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'm not even going to do it. Then I will tell you, because I am money motivated, and who is not money motivated at this point? My upline had posted, like, she was like two above me, posted her paycheck, and it was like thousands of dollars more than what I was making as a full-time teacher. And I was like, what? I'm like, no, there's no way. People don't make money with these things. So I literally went and messaged her because I'm not shy with that aspect. I'm like, how? Just tell me how. Tell me what to do. And so she's like, you need to like go build your network, add new friends, do all these things. And we were doing online parties back then. We were the first company to do them. So it was like really successful. So I just plugged into the system that they had, and that's all I did. Where a lot of people like won't even get to that point. And I share that because a lot of people won't plug into a system. They won't plug into the thing that's right in front of them to help them and to do the actual work. So when I came over to this company, it was like with Trinot, it was like, here's the system. It was so simple. You didn't have to do online parties. You didn't have to do live videos. I didn't have to do all these trainings anymore. Well, I like doing these, but I didn't have to create content. Like there was so much that I didn't have to do. And I was like, this is so much more simple than what I was doing for 7 years, you guys. I built to the top of my last company with a team of 5,000 people. Like I went hard. I exhausted myself. I burnt myself out. I was in no position a year ago when I came to Trinot to start over. I really was just like, you know what? I'm probably just going to quit on network marketing because I'm tired. It's not like I wasn't making good money. I just was exhausted. I'm like, what's the benefit? I have 2 kids under 2. Like, I'm like, do I really want to keep doing this? But when I plugged into their system here and could have time to look good, actually put makeup on, have a baby, and do all that in the last year, I had every reason. So one of the biggest pieces of advice I have if you're scared of this industry is that there's two things that I always have in the back of my mind. Your audience has to know you, they have to love you, and they have to trust you. That's not going to happen overnight. So when you quit after a week, a month, 3 months of posting, then you're just shooting yourself in the foot, because people have to take time to know you. This week alone, I've had 3 people message me who have watched me for a year with my new company, and they knew me with my last company. So they've known me for like maybe 6-7 years, but in the years still, it took them a year to reach out to me and say, hey, like I want to know more, or hey, okay, I'm intrigued. So imagine I quit after a month here. Imagine I quit after 3 weeks here. Like I've had people on my team quit and not even before they even start, they don't even post anything. I'm like, what? Like, where are you people? And a lot of top network marketers, like I've learned from so many of them. There's not a single person I've ever heard their story where they're like, yeah, my first month I was like recruiting all these people and selling all this stuff and I was doing all the things. Every single one of them, it's a year to 2 years before they even sponsored a person, before they even had any ounce of success. And these are all people who are multi-millionaires now. Okay. So like they gave up, they didn't give up, they kept going. If they had given up, well, who knows what would have happened. So the biggest thing for here too is like the difference that I have seen when friends and family, we always used to say like, oh, friends and family are not going to support you. I've actually seen my friends and family support me more than ever in this business. I don't know if that's because they didn't support a single ounce of anything in my last business, and now they're like feel like okay, maybe they're supporting me now. But I just want you to know like that it could happen or it couldn't happen. So one thing I learned is that you had to build your network and you had to do it fast. Those are things that we train on here. Those are things that are like super beneficial. The second thing that I will always have in the back of my mind is, and if you can put it in the back of your mind, put it on your mirror, I don't care, is have time, patience, and consistency in your business. So give it time. Be patient. So many people, we are in a like, I need everything so fast right now. Everything has to be at the tip of my fingers. Life, like kids are like this now. It's crazy. No one has any patience anymore. And that's why most people fail in network marketing. The statistics aren't wrong. I would never say the statistics are wrong because it's true. Most of the top 1% are successful and the rest are not. It's just because the top 1% want to do the work and know what the benefits are. And the other percent, they just quit. That's it. Yep. There's no other like, there's no others. And I'm not saying they quit after like a week and then that's it. Like I'm saying like, most of them will not give it a year. They will not. And that's the beautiful thing about Turn On is that when you sign up, you have your account for a year. So why are you not going to give it a year? It doesn't make any sense to me. You've already got your account. So let's go for a year. So you can have all the excuses in the world to not do your business. I had all the excuses this year to not build a business to leadership level here in Canada. You know, I had like, you want me to list them? I can list them. I was sick. I had a horrible pregnancy with her in terms of nausea, literally had to be in bed at 7 o'clock at night. This is all while hitting leadership rank. Barely had time to work. I worked 5 months full-time teaching while pregnant with her, midst of COVID, you know, everything's COVID. Also had a baby. And, you know, my first month of healing was like in September. And it was just like, you know, I am finally, while she is 5 months, I am finally at the point that I can, you know, have a bit of a schedule in my business. I have had no schedule consistency like at all since I started with Turn On, but still have maintained it because every small pocket of the day, whether it was my lunch break at work, whether it was 5 minutes before she wakes up from her nap, whether it's, you know, any time in my day that I can find to work my business, I don't go on this cell phone for anything other than work. I even taught my daughter who's 2, this is for work. So until you get that sort of time, patience, and consistency with your business, it really is going to be hard. And I think the other big thing too is fear. And Steph's going to touch on fear for you guys.
And I love everything you said. I didn't know that story about you. So I was laughing.
I joined by accident. Yeah, literally. I'm not even
joking. Amazing. Where, you know, that's legitimately she joined by accident, but most of us do, like not so extreme. It's the best story ever. I need more information on that later. But I joined kind of by accident as well. I mean, I came from hospitality and I did the hospitality industry since I was 18 until I had babies. And then I realized I don't want to work nights and weekends. I'm going to miss everything. So I had to put my thinking cap on, and I didn't have, you know, the good maternity leave, any of that, because in hospitality, unless you're management, you don't have those. So I created my own income and I opened up a daycare, and I did daycare for 7 years. God, and let me tell you, everyone says this, I don't know how you did that, but it was honestly probably the hardest job I've ever had, but also the most fulfilling job I've ever had. But also the loneliest job in the world because it's just me and 5 toddlers all day, every day. I mean, there was times in the summer, I mean, the winter that I didn't leave the house for 6 days, like didn't even open the door. Like parents were coming and going and that was it because it was too cold. Anyway, so when I decided that it was time for me to, you know, shut down daycare, and I had been doing it for so long and my kids were now both in school, my neighbor had a party and I didn't know anything about network marketing. I was never on social. I didn't know anything about direct sales. I didn't even know any of it. I knew about Tupperware. That was probably it, because Tupperware has been around for a gajillion years.
And Avon, come on, everyone
And
knows.
oh, and Avon's calling. But I knew nothing. And so one of the parents says, "You've never heard of this company, you need to come." And it was just right next door. And I said, okay, an opportunity to put my face on and speak to other women of, and went and not talk to toddlers all day. And so I went, and I was mind blown, because I came into this because I wanted to meet other women and other moms. And I wanted something just for me, because for 7 years, it was just about the daycare and about the kids. So I literally, mommy put her life on hold for 7 years for our family, which was a choice. And I have no regrets. But at the end of it, I was like, it's my time. It's my turn. And I said, well, maybe this will be a good transition for me in the meantime, while I'm closing out daycare, because I still had a few months. And then I had a party, loved it, got all this free stuff, didn't even know what I ordered. I said, just order, because I don't even know what I'm doing. And she's like, you should join. And the fear, the
Mhm.
fear. Here's the thing with fear. It is the one thing that will stop you from doing just about anything. And I remember becoming a parent. I was a very shy person, I'm very introverted. And I have fear of talking to people and being on screen and being on stage, like anxiety beyond belief, systematic anxiety, where my body physically reacts from the fear of judgment and being in front of people. And then when I became a parent, I realized I have to speak up for my children. So they forced me to step out of that, like that little shell. And you'll do it for your children, but how come you won't do it for yourself? And so coming into this industry, she's like, you need to do this. And it took months before I said yes. And I only joined for $1. I didn't even get a single product. I joined for $1. And I said, I just want to meet other women and have a little extra income on the side. Little did I know that it would become what it has. And if I would have said no, I wouldn't be here today. And fear is one of the things that will stop you from doing it. So fear, it's fight or flight, right? You either run away from the situation, or you're going to just power through it. So you got to decide, which one are you? And if you're constantly running away from it, you'll just never see what the opportunities are. So fear is the anticipation or the expectation of a future threat perceived as a risk to yourself. People want to avoid what can eventually lead to a confrontation, or they want to escape the and avoid potential threat. So fear is also something that is taught to us. It's something that we develop over time. And if you want to be someone who wants to grow outside your comfort zone, you got to pass through that fear. And unfortunately, with the pandemic and everything that happened, it created a lot of fear around the entire world. So whether you had anxiety or fear, I'm sure that was trumped or quadrupled because of what has happened. And so anxiety is on a rise right now, especially with the younger generation. Anxiety stems from fear, and it's all connected, you guys. And the more you dive into it and face it, the easier it would be. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be doing Zoom calls in a public group with a bunch of people I don't know, I think I would have had a stroke. I don't know if I would have, like, I still remember this day, the first time I went live on Facebook. I think it took 5 recordings, and I literally just fell on the floor afterwards. I used to have fans under my desk just because I was so hot and my heart was pounding from the fear of being judged, being questioned, about not knowing what I'm doing, not knowing what I'm saying. There's just so much fear, and it's all in here. And Rachel Hollis, I don't know if you ever follow Rachel Hollis, but she did say this once. She goes, stop. Fear can be also a very selfish act, because stop making everything about you. And the minute you start making about the people in your life, or the products, or the person you're trying to approach, once you make it about them, it's like all of that goes away. Stop making it about you and make it about the opportunity that you're willing to give someone else. And the thing is, with Trinot, where we are right now, we're not offering you, just some random product that sits on a shelf or that looks pretty. This is something that could legitimately change your life and your health and those that around you. And it's the same thing. If you're starting, let's say, collagen, and because you're losing hair, that's why I came here. I was going bald. As you can see, I am not anymore. But if I would have quit after 2 weeks, I would have saw no results. it took weeks and weeks and weeks to get the collagen to work because we lose
Mhm.
so much, right? So if I would have quit, I would still be bald and I would be getting worse and worse. So it's health and wellness takes time, but so does this industry. You can't give up. So many people say, I tried it, I got a no, I'm done. We hear more no's. We get rejected all the time. It's almost a profession of rejection. Like you get 10 no's for every one yes. And so it just becomes part of it. And you start to learn that the no doesn't mean no, it just means not right now. And there's a gajillion reasons why they are saying not right now. It could be money, could be time frame, could be mindset, could be I need more information. I don't know you. Sarah said it just recently. She's like, once they get to know you, then they'll start to trust you. Once they get to trust you, then they'll be open to the products and then they'll be open to listening to more. And then they will start to buy from you. But if you are on and sharing this with everyone, you come in hot and heavy and you share and you post and you do all the things, and 3 weeks later you disappear. Well, guess what? People are watching you, whether they comment or not, they are watching you because they also believe you're going to fail. They also believe you're
They
going to
want you
quit
to fail.
and they want you to fail because you're doing something that they think they could never do. They're like, oh my gosh, I never believed she would ever do something like this. Look, I'm saying her because I'm thinking of myself right now, but look at what she's doing. Why is she doing that? She used to run a daycare and then a cake business. What is she doing now? They want to see you fail because it's scary to think of them doing the same thing. But you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. They're like, okay, maybe there's something here because she's still going, she's still talking about it. And I created a name for myself in my other company like that. Everyone knew who I was and what I did. And I did make it to the top 1%. And I hit every incentive. And I'm wearing my shirt for my last incentive trip that I earned. And it's just a reminder that you can go the distance and there's going to be tears and you're going to fall off the bike and you're going to hurt yourself and it's going to hurt and you're going to be sad and there's going to be some scary days, but tomorrow is a new day. You just get back on the bike and you keep on going and you're never alone. You're never alone. And I will say this, I came into this industry with zero experience. I had no social media, none. I had no real sales experience other than what I learned in hospitality, but that was different. I'm very shy. I don't approach strangers. I tend to overthink. I have severe debilitating anxiety. And so I came in and I said, I'm just going to share what I love. And a lot of times I went to parties and people like, what product is this? I'm like, I have no clue. Let's just look it up in the calendar, like in the catalog. I have no idea. And I just shared and shared and shared and shared and shared. But the systems that are in place here allow, if I had then what I have here, I would have saved myself so much work and effort because they're literally giving everything you need on a silver platter. The leaders here give you everything you need to be successful. And all you have to do is show up every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes. Just show up for your business, whether you want to or not. It's not about motivation. It's not about passion. It's about discipline. Do you want to earn more money? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to go on that incentive trip? Do you want to meet all of these incredible people who have hit the top, who have been where you are? And another quote, I love Rachel Hollis. I love her. And she always says, never compare your beginning to someone's middle because you don't know our journey. You don't know what it's taken us to get here. And it's been for me 5 years. And there's been a lot of ups and downs. And I've seen teams come and go. And, I had a small team at my peak. We were at 200 people. That's it. But we were $1 million team and we called ourselves small but mighty. And it was about the quality of the people in my teams. So lean on each other and know that you can do this and you don't have to be so afraid. And imagine if you said yes. If you say no, you say no, nothing changes. You go about your life goes on. But if you say yes, everything can change. But you got to give it a year. When it comes to this industry, you have to give it a year. Create your own brand, your own personality. You got to let people know that you're in this and that you're willing to learn and you're willing to share. Because if you don't, fear will literally slam every door on your face. And we see it every day. Like Sarah and I see it every day. Every 3 months, we see people falling off because, and what do we say when we reach out to them? They always say, I don't think it's for me. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do what you do. It's the same thing we hear over and over, and it's just the fear. Just dive in, ask questions. We want to help you. We love it when you ask questions because it means you want to learn. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find it, which means we're also going to learn. So just jump in and just commit to doing what you want, and it will come. It will come. Just the fear is the scariest thing that we could ever have for ourselves.
Yeah. Totally awesome. Oh, we put my child to sleep. So Autumn, are you gonna wake up? No. But
There's
that
no
was great.
fear. That's the thing. Children have no fear. They
No
have
fear. Look
there's
at
no
she's
fear.
sleeping on the
I'm gonna
job.
sleep.
Wake
I'm
up,
gonna sleep.
kid.
And she trusts that mommy will hold her. Where if I fell asleep in my kid's arms, I don't know if they would hold me.
No, they probably wouldn't.
My
Anyways,
kids are
that was
older.
great. So any questions, just put it in the comments. Like we said, we wanted to do this live, but put it in the comments. We will check
Yeah.
those out. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Just say yes. There's nothing to lose.
Yes. Literally.